Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of Mindful Monday. I hope you are all well and having a very mindful Monday indeed. So if you are here for the first time, welcome. I love to hear where everyone is coming from. Feel free to drop your name, comments, any questions you have in the comments where you're coming from. Always lovely to see people popping in. And you can do the same if you're watching the replay as well, because I do respond to everything. Today, there's also a stay to the end bonus if you are new, I should say. You'll want to write mindful at the very end in comments, and then you'll follow the links and you'll get a free recording as well as access to our weekly PDF cheat sheets, which come Sundays at 6:45 p.m. All right. So we also do love, if you're listening for the first time, watching for the first time, if you're interested in seeing some of the others, I know it can be kind of a pain to scroll through Facebook feed. They're all posted on my YouTube channel. Ashley Linkaputo will put the link in the bottom after the chat as well. We do appreciate any subscribers and shares. So today we're here to talk about simple ways to stay calm and collected while flying or traveling. And I had a few of you reach out to me and say, oh, you really wanted me to focus on flying, and I get it. Some of you may have known from the last Mindful Monday that I was actually out in Hawaii last week for my brother's wedding, and it took 3 flights to get out there and 2 to get back, and 24 hours of travel each way. So I am there with you. Flying is not my favorite thing, but these are some tips to kind of make that a little bit easier, and then we'll get into a little bit more of all-around travel. So some of this is just going to be kind of my favorite things for traveling before we get into the hypnotic and meditative elements. So I feel that comfort is number one when I'm traveling, especially on a plane. If I'm comfortable, I'm able to relax better, and if I'm not comfortable, I am not going to be able to relax, not very well anyway. So you want to have comfortable shoes, and this is not only for comfort, it's also for your safety. Think about, you don't want to be tripping or having suitcases roll over your sandaled feet kind of thing. So you want to have a closed-toe shoe. I tend to slip them off when I go to sleep, but I want to have them right there. And make sure your feet don't smell if you take off your shoes. People complain about that on planes all the time. I wear contact lenses, but I want to have a contact case if I have them in, and my glasses, because planes are very drying. And so I want that comfort, particularly if it's a long flight, you want to be able to take them out. I like to have my favorite lip gloss. Guys, you might want to have a chapstick, but as I said, planes are dehydrating. Sometimes they even take a little tiny sample moisturizer if you're in a big airport. Sometimes I'll sneak into the duty-free shop and just use a little sample of their stuff, spritz on some of my favorite perfume if I can't take some with me. You also want to have, I like to have a hand sanitizer, a little tiny one with me. And I tend to take either a small pack of like Lysol kind of wipes, antiseptic wipes anymore, just with all the germs, because they're flying people back and forth. It's like shuttle service, one in, one out. And then sometimes I even take a small pack of baby wipes, just because if your hands get sticky from the lack of snacks that they serve you these days, or anything else kind of on the plane, or anywhere in the airport, it's nice to have those kind of things in your travel bag. I know some folks are advocates of taking along a container to store water in. I tend to forget those, so once I go through airport security, I get 2 of those 2-liter bottles of water. I know they're plastic, I do recycle though, and they are like my friends for the flight. I like to have a closed container though, unlike, sometimes they just give you a cup with ice, and if I want to put my tray up, I don't want to spill stuff on me, so I really like that. I like to have a book or a puzzle kind of thing with me in case I can't sleep, so that I have distraction. As you know, if we have a fear or a distaste or a phobia of flying or whatever it is, the more distraction, the better it is. So if you're focused on fear, you're going to keep rehabilitating that. So I also like to have a toothbrush and some Listerine with me to freshen up. And I have a little Vicks vapor stick in case my sinuses kind of tend to clog up, or if there's something I don't want to smell, like somebody else. I like to have some hard candies to suck on so that I'm not constantly drinking too much water. I do drink a lot of water, but I don't want to constantly have to go to the airplane restroom. I like to have my little eye mask in case I do need some dark and everybody else has their lights on. And I like to have my little, I tend to travel with a passport and a driver's license even if I don't have to. So I keep one of my IDs in here and my money, and you can put it underneath your clothes. And then if you lose one, you can still get home, which is always nice. I like to get home. I like this little scarf. It's SPF, I think 15 or 30. So if I and of course my sunglasses. So if I end up out in the sun with my fair skin, I can kind of cover my shoulders and my face a little bit if I need to. And then my favorite pillow is this. I think it's called Bikuzi. It has like clips so it can go around your suitcase as you're traveling. You can do it like this. You can do it like this. It comes in a little carry case. It also has clips on it. So that is like one of my favorite things. And then I'm in love with this zero grid blanket. It stores up. I don't fold it very neatly, unfortunately, to show. But it looks like a pillow, and then you unzip it, and it is like the softest, furriest kind of feel. Let's see if I can do this here. So it's that nice kind of belt kind of thing. And what happens is it comes out to be just the right size of blanket, but it's got little snaps around it, so you can snap it behind you. And then it's got, if you sneak your shoes off like I do, it's got a little foot pocket in the bottom. So I'm totally in love with that because it's just right to keep you comfy, cozy on a plane, or really any kind of traveling, as long as you're not driving. So those are some of my absolute favorites. The other thing I like to use is lavender. So I like an essential oil. Lavender is very calming. A scent can really calm you down. Scents go directly into the limbic system of the brain, which is our emotional center. Unlike the other senses like sight and hearing, it goes directly into that emotional, so it can really be calming. Of course, if lavender doesn't calm you, you might want to choose a fragrance that is calming to you, and nothing that's going to be too strong. So this little one is it's kind of got some oils in it. That is a coconut oil to kind of break it down. So it's fractionated coconut oil. So it's not an overtly strong scent. It's kind of just a light scent. So I'm not drowning out everybody on the plane either, because I do like a lot of scent. So that's kind of my favorite things to have when I'm traveling or on an airplane that can all fit in a very small bag too. Another thing that I like to do is, for instance, if I'm focused on the travel, or a lot of times when we have kind of a fear or a distaste or whatever, flying or whatever it might be for you, we tend to start thinking about this weeks in advance. So we're really psyching up our nervous system to be even more anxious. So I like to focus on the outcome. So for instance, this was my brother getting married. I knew I was going to see my family that I don't get to see very often because we're spread all over the place. So I was focused on seeing that. I've never been to Hawaii before. I knew I wanted to see the volcano, so I focused on all of those things. Of course, if it's a business trip, you might not be having as much fun kind of thing, but you could even pretend. You could pretend that you're on a magical little journey. Another thing, we talked about the Erickson technique of opening focus, the I'm aware I see. So you could play that game on a plane, or you could even look around at other people and kind of invent stories of, oh, I wonder if they're doing this or that kind of thing. Just use your imagination like a little kid and really enjoy yourself. You can also do EFT or tapping. We did the whole tapping thing, but a lot of folks aren't going to have room to do that on a plane or would feel kind of silly. So another thing you can do is you can take an object. I mean, a ball is ideal, but you might not have a ball, like a stress ball pack. So you can just take your hand sanitizer and toss it a few times. Don't annoy the person next to you if you don't know them or whatever. Toss it a few times back and forth between your hands. It's that bilateral cross-lateral stimulation. When we have something that gets stuck in our brain, like a trauma, fear, or phobia, it tends to get stuck in one hemisphere of the brain. So if we activate both sides of the body, we activate both hemispheres of the brain, and that tends to get things to move through a little bit faster. So that's a quick tip. Another one is, I'm not going to teach you the whole havening technique, but you can kind of just go like this and kind of say something soothing or calming to yourself, like relax now, it's all going to be okay. You can utilize affirmations or mantras the whole time. You don't even have to be doing this. You could just be saying something like all is well, I travel safely and easily, whatever works for you. Hi Patty, good to see you here. So those kind of affirmations, mantras, they can be useful, they can be calming, they can train your brain so it's not going off into Lululand about, oh my goodness, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And then we do have in NLP and hypnosis, we use what's called a fast phobia cure. So I'm going to kind of run through it here with you all now. Of course, if we were doing it one-on-one, it would be slower. I'd be watching you for cues, but you'll kind of get an idea of how this works. So if you're available, as in watching safely, not driving a car, operating machinery, watching children or anything, to kind of relax and do this, I'll invite you to do it with. If not, then please come back and watch it later. All right, so this is going to be the fast phobia cure. It could be for planes, it can really be for anything. And basically, I'm going to invite you to kind of get a sense of that thing. So let's say you're about to get on a plane or you're going to be boarding a plane soon and that gives you some nervousness. Whatever it is for you that's causing this nervousness, this anxiety, this discomfort for you. So I want you to get into that kind of sense, imagining that now. And then I'm going to ask you to kind of rate this on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 is going to be the worst, 1 is 0, you know, well, we could say 0 to 10. 0 is 0 discomfort and 10 is I'm like freaking out. All right, so with your eyes still open, I'd like you to imagine now that you're sitting in the middle of a movie theater and you can see the black and white snapshot of you in this situation up on the screen. Okay, so get a sense of that. And then when you're ready, if you want to, you can close your eyes. I'm gonna have you play the movie from beginning, as in before this anxiety sets in. So maybe it's 3 weeks before your trip, until the very end, which is when you're relaxed and safe at home or wherever it is you're going. So just play that movie from beginning to end now, playing it all the way through in black and white. Okay. All right, and so now I'm gonna have you rewind it all the way back to the beginning and play it again twice as fast. So zip on through. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna do that once again. You're gonna rewind it all the way back, and this time you're gonna play it 2 times as fast. So it's like 4 times as fast now, as if you're just zipping through to the end. Great. All right. Nicely now. So now I'm gonna have you rewind or play the movie backwards. So you're gonna start at the end where you're safe. You're gonna go all the way back. So playing it in reverse, if you will. It's kind of silly to watch yourself moving in reverse there, isn't it? But just see, hear, and notice, feel everything that's going on, only now it's backwards. Good. All right, so now go back to the end. I'm gonna have you play it again in reverse, this time in color. Just noticing what you notice and staying with it, sensing what you sense, taking as much time as you need, of course. Good. And now we're gonna go all the way back to the end, and we're gonna do this twice as fast in color. So zip, zip on through, and you're all the way back way before you even felt any of that discomfort. Good. We're gonna do this once again, double timing again, so it's about 4 times as fast from the end to the beginning, just zip, all the way through, in color, perfect. And now, go ahead, and if you're with your eyes closed, you can open them if you like, and just kind of think about the situation as if though you were getting ready to go on a trip now, maybe it's flying, whatever it is for you, and notice where your discomfort is now from a scale of 0 to 10. So for most people, even just doing it that quick a few times significantly lowers the discomfort level. And you can, of course, repeat this over and over again. And if I were there with you, or if you were doing this with your personal hypnotherapist or on your own, you would have, you know, I'd be watching you for cues. Of course, I can't see anybody here. But this is what's known as the fast phobia cure in a nutshell anyway. So it's pretty nice. It works really well. And like I said, you can do it as many times as you like. All right, so I think I might include, we don't have time to do it because it's about a 25-minute recording, or trance anyway. I might even include in next week's Mindful Monday cheat sheet a copy of my Fear of Flying script, which is a longer, as I said, kind of meditation, hypnotic meditation. So that is about all I have for you today. Happy travels, happy flying. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, please reach out to me. Remember to write mindful if you're not on the cheat sheet in the comments, and you'll get a link to follow. And if you have any topics you'd like to see covered, please feel free to reach out, either direct comment or direct message me. All right, have a good Mindful Monday. Thank you.